Welcome back. All right. As we age, many of us deal with different health challenges. While being ill is difficult, sometimes being the caregiver can prove to be even tougher. And Tula Wooten is the Director of Community Programs at Community Hospice and Palliative Care. And Donovan Darius is my friend and former Jaguar and motivational expert. Appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. We're happy to be here.
Let's start out with the Caregiver EXPO. For folks out there who haven't heard about it yet, tell them what it is.
This is our 7th annual Caregiver EXPO hosted by the Caregiver Coalition of Northeast Florida. It is a day for caregivers of a frail elder to come out for themselves and get pampered, find some resources to help them, get a free massage, get their hair done, hear Donovan speak. It's a day of resources and care, all focused on them, because caregivers typically don't ever focus on themselves. They're so busy taking care of the one they love. So this is a day for them.
Day for them. And Donovan, your involvement, is this your first time being involved with it?
Well, this is my first time being involved, but it's not my first time handling the functionality of a caregiver, you know, with my mom and the different things that she's experienced over the time of being ill and being in the hospital 8 times in 1 year and in rehab centers 8 years, and they thought she was sepsis twice that year. And I mean, to go through that type of stress, to go through that type of pain, and that sometimes that type of hopelessness where you want things to change, but you just can't change it. And most times caregivers, there are over 40 million caregivers, which are basically unpaid family members taking care of family loved ones in the United States. And so there's a lot of individuals like that. And so to be a part of this event, I just get a chance to come out, love on everyone, share a message of inspiration, encourage, motivation, and support to let them know that they're not by themselves and that they can make it together stronger as they move forward in this great commitment.
I think that's one thing that's great about it. I've been to it before, and I think that's great is that, like you said, when you're doing the caregiving, you're by yourself, and sometimes you feel like you are all alone. But then now you get to come to an event, and all these other people are have the similar
same thing
experiences.
you're doing.
And so you can learn a lot from this.
The connectivity is great. I love to watch the caregivers connect with each other. And I encourage them to find a caregiver buddy. Find someone who's caring for maybe the same relative that you are. Connect, see how you can help each other, support each other, maybe commiserate a little bit together. Caregiving can be an exhausting, depleting job, and it can take a physical toll on the health of the caregivers. As a matter of fact, huge percentages of caregivers die before the person they're taking care of.
Wow.
Often due to self-neglect, because they don't have time to take care of themselves.
And the stress and all the stuff that goes into it.
And I want the caregivers to not just come out alive at the end of their caregiving experience. I want them to be alive and well and thriving, but you have to put a real focus on yourself. And I try to teach caregivers it is not selfish to do that. You have to do that to make it through. And it's the best thing for your loved one too.
And that's what I'm going to share a lot on that day. As Tula mentioned, you know, you may have people kind of decline after this role, but what I want to do is I want to encourage them, to inspire them to be able to look at what is the blessing in this moment. I walked through this journey and there's a tremendous amount of blessing, but there's also some things that you need to do to really be intentional about making sure that that it's a blessing and you're maximizing these moments. And I'm going to share that on Saturday with everybody there, just some strategies, some tips, and just some perspectives as they're walking through it. Is it difficult? Yes, it can be. We can go faster by ourselves, but further with each other. And that's what the Caregiving Expo 2018 is going to be able to provide.
That is, you're going to be motivated, folks, and I love Double D, as we would call him on the team. His message is always, you've been the same since you got to Jacksonville playing for the Jags. It's always about taking care of your business and also staying present in your moment and appreciating it. At the Expo, besides obviously all the learning and camaraderie between caregivers, what kind of you always have vendors and all kinds of stuff.
We'll have about 88 different vendors there. They'll represent resources to help the caregiver in their role. AgeWell Institute at Baptist, one of our partners, has got about 15 tables set up where they're going to be doing health screenings for the caregiver. And then there's going to be a lot of fun. Monarch Dance Studio is going to be there teaching a little cha-cha and merengue. The Y is going to be doing Zumba. It's all about the caregiver's health and emotional and physical well-being. Staying engaged in things you love doing so that you're not lost at the end of your caregiving role. So it's going to be high energy, a lot of fun, resources, education, pampering, you can get a free massage, you can get your hair done. That might not sound like much to somebody, but for female caregivers, I met one a couple of years ago who hadn't done anything for herself in a couple of years, and sadly she looked it. And so I sent her over to the hairdressers, and she cried. She cried. It was so meaningful
Changing
to her.
people's
Well,
lives.
you see what happens, like you said, they're
lives.
going to take care. You see what happens. Caregiving can be stressful. You see what happened to my hair.
It all went away.
But I wanted to say this last thing. Remember, like they say, when you're on a plane, they say when the pressure rises, things start going awry. Here's the first thing to do when the pressure masks come out. Put it on yourself first, because you can't take care of anybody for any length of time if you don't take care of yourself.
Right.
All good stuff. Get out there and recharge your batteries, folks. We want to thank the Community Hospice and Palliative Care for being here and sharing this information about their event. Remember, the Caregiver Expo 2018 is this Saturday from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. at Everbank Field. And for more information about the expo, visit mycaregiverconnection.org.